Hello, everyone. We have just seen Thanksgiving, a movie about Thanksgiving, somewhat about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's pretty much about a Black Friday sort of riot gone wrong. The big tragedy happened, and then there's a
Mhm.
serial killer based on that, who goes around and kills people that were responsible for that riot.
Yeah.
It's directed by Eli Roth, and it stars Patrick Dempsey, Rick Hoffman, and a whole lot of unknowns as well.
Mhm.
So, James, what are your thoughts on Thanksgiving?
I'm not too thankful for it. I'll put it that way. It's it's okay. It's okay. That's all I can say. I feel like I've seen this movie before, like multiple times. It's very generic and straightforward, and nothing's very in terms of its twists. It's something I feel like I've seen a lot of the time, and once you see this movie, you'll kind of understand what I'm getting at there, and I'm sure Nane could probably attest to that. But yeah, the twist didn't offer anything. The plot is uh, simply existing for the sake of it being around Thanksgiving. It was kind of a really dumb way to put it around that holiday, but obviously they've thought about the marketing for this movie before actually the plot of the movie. Oh, we'll do something about Thanksgiving, and then we know how to market that. It would be pretty easily. But yeah, it's bland. It's boring. It feels like it's trying to do its own Scream.
Yeah.
Even going to the lead actress, I felt like they were very similar in terms of performance. I don't know her name, but I guess she was like not as good as the main girl in the latest Scream movies, and that's like further to this movie that's not nearly as good as those Scream movies as well. I will say that I will give the movie props for being very, very brutal. In New Zealand, this is an R18, and I think R18s are quite rare to have because you really got to push it past some kind of limits for the MPAA to really give that designation to a movie. I don't. I think we might get like a few R18s per year. Like,
If that.
yeah, if that. I don't recall some of the last ones. I know stuff like Don't Breathe is R18. Not even Saw is an R18. So you can expect some really, really gruesome stuff in this movie. I don't want to spoil it, but it's not tasty. It is not tasty. It is gross. It is disgusting. At times, I've just got all tensed up in a lot of moments. I don't want to give it away, but you'll know exactly the feeling when you go through it because some of it's just like beyond what like Scream would do or any other kind of slasher movie. So I give it props for like kind of going all out with the kills and all the kind of gruesome stuff. And according like to that as well, the technical side of it, I thought it played pretty it was pretty generic for most of it, but there were some interesting kills there. When it came to the scares, some of it's kind of your like kind of bullshit horror scares that when they don't make much sense, and then some of them are actually quite good. I'm not one to always kind of jump and jump scares, especially when they're fake and they're cheap. But this one got me. I think a few times I got kind of like whoa. So I thought that was pretty creative. Other than that, there is not much to say about this movie. Again, if you go and see it, it's going to be a movie that you felt like you've seen before because that's really my experience with it. Overall, though, I think I enjoyed it, but I don't think it's good. I think it's a very easy movie to enjoy because of kind of the shock factor to it. They're like, oh my gosh, they're actually doing this in the movie, and that's where you kind of get your entertainment value from. And so I think it delivers there. It definitely did not deliver anywhere else. I thought the characters were a lot of them were bland. There's too many characters to begin with, and it's just I don't care about any of them because they're focusing on way too much people. Some people that don't even have anything to do with the outcome of the plot. So why are they in this?
Yeah.
So yeah, I had that, and yeah, just some of the motivations as well. This is one of my pet peeves with horror movies: how characters act. Oh, y'all walk in this little dark area. Like, why? You know the stakes. You know what's happening. You know there's someone killing people around. Why are you being so dumb? Like, I think it just annoys me, and this movie does it. It does it. It succumbs to that trope in horror movies. But you take the good with the bad with this one. What do you think, Nan?
Yep, pretty much same as you. It was generic as hell. The only
Mm.
interesting thing about it is that instead of set at Halloween, it was set during Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's it. Which I didn't mind. I
Mm.
sort of like that concept of it being set around Thanksgiving because we barely, if ever, get anything like that
Yeah.
in terms of a horror film. Well, nothing I can think of.
I mean, they had the Christmas one last year. Was it Bloody Christmas or something like that?
I have no idea.
It was with David Harbour. We never saw it. But yeah, no, there was some horror Christmas movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are more interesting because
Mm.
everyone's like accustomed to the Halloween sort of setting for it.
Yeah.
And most of it has run its course, you know, like there's not much more they can do with a slash movie based on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So I like other holidays being looked into.
Yeah.
Maybe an Easter one with like a rabid bunny would be awesome to go.
No.
But yeah, I'm with you when you say that the best part of this film is probably like the kills and the gore side of things.
Yeah.
The director must have locked himself in a dark room or something to come up with some of these kills. Because holy crap, no sane person can think of this.
Yeah, not even Nayan.
Not
it shocked him. It's gonna shock you.
Exactly, because I'm a psychopath.
No, he's not. He's the sweetest person ever.
Okay. But yeah, I think so some of those moments it's quite not cringe as an cringe, but cringe as an you know, like it's wincing sort of cringe.
It's true cringe,
yeah. And then there's actual cringe in it. You know, some of the lines are like absolutely cheesy and like, oh god, like at the end when we find out who the killer is and he just says this line that's Thanksgiving thing, you're just like, oh my god, what the fuck? And then one of the actresses says it again, and you're just like, oh my god. So it's very a mindless movie. If you have nothing to do on a Friday night, go to this. You know,
yeah, I mean, it can be a fun movie.
Yeah. Take your friends, take your boyfriend, take your girlfriend, whatever. It's just mindless fun, really. But yeah, you're not going to get anything good out of this.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on more horror films being set outside of the Halloween sort of time period?
I mean, that's perfectly fine. I care more about, you know, writing good characters and stories into horror movies. I think we need more of that, especially slasher movies. Scream does it pretty well. So something similar to that in terms of quality. Around other holidays, the thing with this one is it didn't really commit to its Thanksgiving theme, you know, because it kind of builds up to the Thanksgiving component of it, and then it goes off into another direction. So it doesn't really commit to it. And if it committed, and if the Thanksgiving part was kind of like the final, I guess, set piece of the movie, then it would have been really interesting. They could have like committed more to Thanksgiving, which is why I say this movie felt like an idea for marketing rather than a movie itself beforehand. They've just tried to do it for that. But I mean, like, yeah, you could definitely play around a lot of holidays. There'd be an insane amount of like ideas you could do for it. But it just comes down to, you know, good writing. How do you set yourself apart from the other horror movies? Because a lot of the time they always just feel the same. And it's what I've had with this. I just cannot figure out like just the difference between this and just so many different horror movies. Very, very generic.
I think that's the theme of these films nowadays, is that everyone knows like you know how you have your wedding cliches, you know, have like your horror cliches. So directors and studios are trying to fit as many of those cliches into films as possible. You know, your jump scares, your stupid character work, your dumb plot twists that you see from a mile away, those sort of stuff. Because it's worked in the past, so they just think, oh yeah, we'll just keep working, and obviously people are going to keep going to these films. Yeah,
until they don't. Some people, I mean, it'll get to a point where people stop buying into this stuff. Because if it got me with the twist, I would be having a different conversation right now. But it really didn't.
It was something that we could see a mile coming.
Yeah, it was pretty easy how it was like building up, and just generic is the key word to describe this movie. You're not going to get much from it. I would go if I was made to go again. I would go for the experience and sharing that experience with others. Don't go see this movie by yourself or anything like that. You're just wasting money. Just go with other people. Go with your friends. Don't go with your family. Go with your partner, and just kind of go for the experience. Have fun, because I think you can easily go into this movie and have fun. But if you're expecting quality, you're not gonna get it here. I don't think.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
So, do you have a score?
Firstly, I didn't find out. Are you thankful for this movie?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay. So it's not Thanksgiving.
No.
It's Thanksgiving.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I did. By the way, I'll add before we get to our scores. I did like how they kind of injected how Black Friday has changed over time and how it caused this whole thing. I really like the setup for it. I thought it was quite an intriguing and different way to do things.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, where's this going? Yeah, but yeah, it kind of threw that away very, very quickly.
It's like that first 10 minutes and then...
Yeah, no, man, there was actually so many characters in this that just have no payoff.
Or no purpose at all.
Yeah, like the kid that writes the essays for that guy.
Yeah.
And then he reads that out. Oh, okay. This is getting really bad now. My score is just declined because I keep remembering bad stuff about this movie. All right, should we do scores?
Yeah, go on.
Yes. You want to go first?
You can go first.
I can go first. Oh, yeah, no, I just thought about all those mindless characters and scenes that set up something and then they're not talked about again. I'm going to give this... There's some fun to be had. I'll give it a 4. I was going to go 3.5, but there is a fun element to this. So, yeah. What are you going to give it?
I was going to give the original score.
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah.
Very
it's
bland.
very, very bland, very generic. We've seen it so many times. It's just a different time period.
Pretty
different
much.
setting.
Yeah.
So if you guys are thankful for this movie after you see it, head over to X or Instagram and let us know if you are thankful or if you agree with what we're saying or disagree. I'm sure we'll happily have some fights with you over that. If you want to listen to more reviews or even our Let's Be Real podcast, head over to any platform that you pod from and search Let's Be Real and click that play button. Thank you. And if you want to read any of our content that we do, head over to moviegains.com. We do a lot of stuff, not just reviews. We also do box office analysis, Oscar analysis, and physical media content as well. Thanks everyone for tuning in today. We'll catch you on the next one. See you later.
Peace.